I'm Ross Rushin at Trek Bicycles. I'm here today to teach you how to change a flat tire. Before you go on your ride, make sure you have all of the proper equipment. When you get a flat tire, the first step is to remove the rear wheel from the bike. Start by shifting to your hardest gear, and then pick up the bike and pedal it by hand to move the chain to the smallest cog. Next, use the lever on the side of your brakes to loosen the brakes. And now open your quick release lever so you can pull the wheel out by holding the wheel down with your right hand and lifting up on the bike with your left hand. Tilt the wheel to remove it from the frame and lay the bike down on the non-drive side. Different types of bikes have different types of brakes. To release a V-brake, start by moving the dust cover out of the way, grab the cable with one hand, the bracket with the other hand, and pull them apart until you can unseat the cable and release the brake. To reattach the brake, grab the cable with one hand, the bracket with one hand, and pull them together until you can seat the cable inside the bracket. Move the dust cover back into place. Different types of bikes also have different types of shifters. On a bike with a flat handlebar, shift to your hardest gear using your index finger. Now that we have the wheel off the bike, we can continue fixing this flat. Start near a spoke and use the scooped end of the tire lever to grab the edge of the tire, and then use that spoke to attach the hook of the tire lever and hold it in place. Go a few inches down. Now that we have a few inches off, we're going to continue around the wheel and take the rest of this side of the tire off. We're finished using our tire levers for now, so we can set those down. And now, we're going to start by pulling the tire aside, removing that valve stem, and then just take the rest of the tube out. Before we put a new tube in, we want to make sure that whatever caused that flat is not still in the tire. So gently run your fingers through the inside of the tire, making sure you don't feel anything sharp. And at the same time, visually check the outside of the tire in case you see any debris that's still stuck in there. Now that we know there isn't any debris left in the tire, it's time to put the new tube in. When you pull your tube out of your seat bag, it's going to be really flat like this, and that's going to make it difficult to work with. So we're going to use our CO2 inflator, or your mini pump, to put just a little bit of air in the tube to give it some shape and make it easier to work with. Just enough air to make it round. With just a little bit of air in the tube, we're going to start back at the valve stem hole, and we insert the tube opposite the way we took it out. Insert the valve stem, and then work your way around the tire, and just tuck that tube under the tire. And you can see we've got the tube all the way up in the tire. Now we can worry about getting the tire back on the rim. We're going to start at the valve stem again. This area of the tire can be a little bit tighter and a little bit more tricky, so we want to get this done first. And I'm going to use both of my thumbs to just push the edge of the tire back onto the rim. So we're working our thumbs all the way around the rim. I always try to get the tire on with just my hands if possible. It's always the best idea, but if you get to this part and it's just too tight to get this tire back on, you can very carefully use your tire lever to help you get this edge of the tire back on. So using that scoop the opposite way, we're going to very, very gently use it to press the tire back on. Next, we want to make sure we didn't pinch the tube anywhere between the tire and the rim. So carefully Move the tire aside and go all the way around the wheel, making sure you don't see the tube sticking out anywhere. Now we're ready to inflate the tire using either your frame pump or your CO2 inflator. Tire's inflated, we're ready to reinstall the wheel. To get the rear wheel back on the bike, start by using the end of your quick release lever to move the bottom part of the chain out of the way so that you can get the wheel into the frame. Lay the chain on top of your smallest cog and then gently push the bike into place. Now close your quick release lever. Remember to close your brake. Give the bike a pedal to make sure it's all running smoothly. And your flat is fixed.